but this shelf is a real mess. That's math education for you. If you see like flashes of light, it's not because I'm so magical and awesome, although that is a factor. Hi, I'm Sock Marionette, also known as Bargain Counter Argument, and I am a middle-aged lady in a tiara talking about books on a lovely day in late April in the Northern Hemisphere, so it's spring, and there are cars going past because I have the windows open because it's really nice. I don't know if you can hear bird song, but it is there. And I am wearing what I think of as my springtime tiara, although I wear it year-round. And I even have my baseball shirt on. This video is going to be about prepping for the Ever Afterathon, which is being done by... She does this every May, and this year it's like there are teams and themes and points and so on and so forth, and it's going from May 1st to May 25th, which is Crystal's birthday, the 25th. And there are 4 teams: Cinderella, so that's for fairy tale retellings, Pirate, which is for stories that take place on the high seas, especially pirates, but not limited to pirates. And Cinderella, I said Cinderella, The Governess, which is a dark historical romance and governess stories, and Time Travel, or Traveler, Time Traveler specifically. And the emphasis is on historical romance, and so I am on Team Traveler, Time Travel. They all sounded good, especially Cinderella, but I went with Time Traveler, Time Travel. But I'm going to read some from the other genres as well, or subgenres, I should say. And you get points for any book you read, even if it's not historical romance. So, and points, you get extra points for historical romance. You get extra points for the, if you read a book either by or about BIPOC characters or by or about LGBTQ plus characters. So that's fun. And, yeah, so I'm putting together my May TBR based on that, although I will be reading other things as well. I have a couple of time travel books that aren't romance, or aren't historical romance, I should say. And so, yeah, so I'm going to be putting that together, and I'm going to be posting this. I'm hoping I'll post it either on the last day of April or the first day of May, because I'm going into May. And on the 29th, I'm going to have, Crystal's going to visit me on Book Talk with Sock, so we can talk May TBRs and the Ever Afterathon, so that'll be fun. Since by the time I post this, that will be done. I'll post a link in the description. And I'll also post a link to her post about describing what it is. It's too late now for signups, because by the time I post this, it's already, I think signups are already closed. But you can always play along at home or enjoy the various sprints and other activities that are happening around it. There's a Discord and everything. So, if you didn't know about this and didn't have a chance to sign up, then it's still a good time. So, yeah. Actually, I'm assuming it's a good time. This is the first time I'm participating in a team-based readathon. So I'm looking forward to that. And so I have some stuff to do to prepare for it. I need to do some tidying. Okay, quick edit while I move the camera. Okay, this is more awkward than I thought it would be. I'm kind of perched on a windowsill, cramming my head next to this bookshelf where I have my TBRs. And so I think I'm just going to take this off the tripod in a minute. But up here I have my library books that I'm planning to read for this Ever Afterathon. And then below I have books that I own that suit the Ever Afterathon. But this shelf is a real mess, so I'm going to need to get that organized as well. This bookcase, up top I have some of my library checkouts. These are the ones that will get me extra points in the Ever Afterathon beyond just the page count, because you get a point per page. And then below it, I have a very disorganized and cluttered shelf, which is books that I own that will get me extra points. Not all of them. That's actually part of what I need to organize. And then below is more disorganized stuff that isn't specific to the readathon. And then even further, I have a box of books that I'm planning to send to somebody, but she watches my channel, so I'm not going to talk about what they are, because spoilers. And so I'm going to be organizing that. Okay, and here's another corner that needs some more organization. Everything looks fine. It looks fine. It's fine. It's my other library books that don't get me extra points in the Ever Afterathon. It's all fine. Looking good. Looking good. And then suddenly, a giant pile of books and recycling and stuff that needs to be organized as well. So I have got my work cut out for me. This is just a quick update because I'm happy to report that this situation didn't take as long to figure out as I thought it would, so it's still cluttered, but with a spot of organization. Up on the top shelf, I still have my library books that should get me extra points. And down here, I have a simplified stack of my owned books, including a Star Trek tie-in novel, Time for Yesterday, which I have actually read a long time ago. I think it came out in 1986, and I found it at a library sale the other day, and I was like, ooh, yeah, that was good. And it's time travel, so awesome. And we just had an edit so that I could get this across the room, and you can see that some tidying occurred. And I still have, or I now have some extra space on that bottom shelf, which you know is going to get filled up pretty quickly. So that's good. And so I feel like stuff is tidy for the most part because I still have to deal with a lot of recycling. But everything is mostly tidy, so that'll help me start figuring out an actual TBR, which I will talk about later. Okay, I'm in my mom's car. I just filmed a short about the library books I'm returning. I'm going into the library to pick up a couple of books that I want for tonight's live stream, because it is Tuesday, April 29th, for tonight's live stream with Crystal of Books Forever After, Books Forever After, and of course she is the brains behind the entire Ever Afterathon, and naturally I want to impress her. So I'm picking up a couple of books, and then I can use those to figure out the point system, and she can help me figure that out and tell me whether or not my math is correct and my point assignments are correct, because this Ever Afterathon combines reading, the subject I was best at in elementary school, with math, the subject I was worst at. However, I later found out it's not because I'm not good at math, it's because I'm not good at learning math the way they were teaching it when I was in elementary school. I hate to say it, but if they'd been teaching it Common Core when I was in elementary school, I probably would have done better. But that's math education for you. So I'm going in now. Okay, so yesterday I recorded a 20-minute clip of me tabulating points for the Ever Afterathon, and then when I spoke to Crystal during the live stream, when she graciously agreed to be my guest, she explained, we went through this whole complicated thing about the point system, and then she was like, there's going to be a book tracker thing where all you have to do is type in the title of the book, the author, the number of pages, and then answer a series of yes/no questions. So we had a good time trying to figure the whole thing out and wrestle it to the ground, and then I found out that, that really was not going to be necessary. So I decided to just not use that clip. Frankly, I'm glad I don't have to edit a 20-minute clip. That'll make my life a little bit easier. Okay, so it is, by the way, it is April 30th. So tomorrow is the start of the readathon. And I have here my potential, my TBR, my pile of possibilities, my potentially I might read some of these books. Well, I'll definitely read some of them, but certainly probably not all. Now, I have two subdivisions of this my list, my TBR, my pile of possibilities, and one is books that I own. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There were a couple that I realized weren't going to get me that many points Oh, that's 14. I'm sorry. This is including Time for Yesterday, a Star Trek tie-in. Turns out that won't get me that many points. It's not a romance, and for the time traveler points for the character who is a time traveler, that character's supposed to be female, unless it's a male-male romance, in which case either one of them could be the time traveler. And since this is a Star Trek novel that was professionally published under the aegis of Paramount, you know that the Kirk-Spock relationship is going to be subtext at most. So that's not going to count. Little joke for the KS fans out there. Okay, so that leaves me with 13, and one of those is Yours Until Dawn by Teresa Medeiros. Step back. And this is actually going to be a buddy read for the some Team Cinderella, but they're happy with anybody who wants to join them from any team, or even if you're not participating at all. And this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, so that's the fairy tale that is. I'm in the middle of a sprint for midweek motivation, which I do every Wednesday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And the theme for this week is the TBR in and among the sprints. So I will be posting that in the description. And I was just sharing that with the group. So you'll get probably more details about these books, if you want, from there. And I'll also be recapping them as I read them. I have this is 4 novellas, Veils of Time. I think this is the one I'm probably not going to read this one. Or there's only one of these 4 novellas is about a female time traveler. The rest are dudes. So I may read it just for funsies, but it's not going to get me quite as many points. So I'm going to set that one aside. And this one, Shifting Love by Constance. I assumed Constance O'Day Flannery is always time travel, but this is actually about a shifter. So at least one of the characters is a shapeshifter. So the potential for some kind of soulmate situation is very high, but otherwise might not fit the brief. So I'm going to set that aside. So actually with those 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, with those 2 gone, it's more like 11 books from my personal collection, including this one, Forever and a Day by Victoria Chancellor, which is a great name. It's like a soap opera star from the 80s. And this is published in the 90s. And I left the stickers on because it shows the price history. Somebody bought this. This was on sale at Book Margins. Values to $5.99. Our price, 2 for $5. That's $2.50. And then there's another sticker saying "buck a book" for. So this was $1. And then I bought it at a library sale for I think 25 cents. Yeah. So this one, I'm not sure if this is time travel or reincarnation. I'll have to look into this more. But yeah. There's a mysterious and handsome dude who shows up in contemporary South Carolina. So I'm not sure, that might not actually be time travel, although I'm told reincarnation counts. And then we have One Perfect Night by Judith O'Brien. Lady Gazing Off into the Distance, very nice. And Madison Avenue advertising executive Julie Gaffney is on the lookout for a good man and a love that will last forever. So she ends up in Camelot with the legendary Lancelot. It is a silly place. A Dance Through Time by Lynn Kurland, which is about a woman from 1996, which is when this was published, in New York City, ends up in 14th century Scotland with a man called James MacLeod, presumably of the clan MacLeod. Maybe he's a Highlander, maybe he's immortal. This is such a beautiful cover. This is Time Kissed Destiny by Constance O'Day Flannery, and it is about a modern day lady from 1987, and she's going scuba diving in the Bahamas, and she finds some treasure and she tries to claim it, and she suddenly finds herself talking to a dude who is a shipping entrepreneur in the modern age of 1868. So she's gone back in time whilst underwater. The Gift by Constance O'Day Flannery. I'm not sure that this is time travel. What we have is a movie star who died in the 60s, is visiting somebody in the 90s, and it says that I think it says something about she's from heaven or something, so this might not be time travel. I'm going to set that one aside. So now we're down to 10. This is another Constance O'Day Flannery. This one's definitely time travel, Anywhere You Are. This is a Keyhole. And this is, this lady goes skydiving outside Las Vegas, and when she lands, she is in the Old West in Nevada, not too long after the Civil War, with a dude who's lost his soul, and who lost his soul fighting in the Civil War. With Constance O'Day Flannery, that might not just be metaphorical. There might be an actual literal soul that they're looking for. This one is Time Swept. This is a woman who gets caught in rough water, swimming in rough waters, and she washes up on the shore in Cape May, New Jersey, and she's astonished to find out it is 1929. It's prior to, the fall. She could probably persuade people not to stay in the stock market. And Enslaved by Virginia Henley. Amazing Victor Godino Step Back. And this is about a 18th century English woman, Lady Diana Davenport, who puts on a helmet, an authentic Roman helmet, in an antique store, and wakes up in Bath in the Roman era, where they think she is a spy for the British, or they weren't British at that time, but the locals. Breath of Magic by Teresa Medeiros, a witch comes forward 300 years to 1990s. I'm not sure if it's where we are, if we're in Boston, I think. And so she is a fish out of water, 300 years in the future, and there's a reclusive billionaire, and it sounds like there are some heavy shenanigans going on. And okay, so those are the books I own. I'm going to come back in a little bit and do the books I have out from the library, because the spread's almost up. See you in a bit. Okay, so we're in the middle of another sprint, and now I'm going to go over my library books, plus a book that I found on my own shelves to add to my my owned TBR for May for the Ever Afterathon. If you see like flashes of light, it's not because I'm so magical and awesome, although that is a factor. It is cars going past my window because I'm using natural light. Anyway, the book is A Touch of Enchantment by Teresa Medeiros, with a lovely step back. She's got this cocktail dress with like sequins or bugle beads or something on it. I wonder what happens when she pulls away from that embrace and he's in chainmail. I wonder if they're going to be having to like pick that apart. Anyway, so this is about an heiress in contemporary times, which is, this book was published in the mid-1990s, so that kind of contemporary, who goes back in time by about 700 years. And I don't know if he then goes forward in time because, or if the city in the background is more metaphorical. Anyway, so now I have, with the books I took out and the books I have left in, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I have 11. Yeah, I still have 11 of my own books. Now, the library books I have, a lot of these were books I've had out for a while or have been waiting for a while that finally came in. And that I am going to be reading during the Ever Afterathon, because you get points for, like, if a book is written by a BIPOC author or has BIPOC representation, that's worth points. If it's an LGBTQ plus author or LGBTQ plus representation, you get extra points. So I've kind of been holding on to those so that I can maximize my points. I also have some romances. You get points for reading contemporary romance, like 50 points per book. But if you read historical romance, it's more like 300 points, because the emphasis is supposed to be on historical romance, although not exclusively. So some of these books, I will be getting lots and lots of points on. So I thought I might as well save them for the readathon. And also, it gives me a break if I feel like I'm getting a little burned out on historicals. I think I mentioned already that one of the things I want to do is to read Crystal's 4 favorites. She has one favorite book for each of these subgenres that we're doing. So for Governess, it's Jane Eyre. So I have this gorgeous edition. This is Word Cloud Press, and as you can see, it's got on the back, it has a quote from Jane Eyre, and on the front, it has a word cloud from Jane Eyre. So that's kind of fun, and it's beautiful, sort of lavender purple, and it's got gorgeous end pages. I think I'm actually going to be reading the large print edition, but And her favorite for Cinderella subgenre is An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn, which is a Bridgerton book. And I have been reassured that I don't actually have to have read any other Bridgerton books before I read this one. which is good because I don't want my leisure reading to have too many prerequisites. So yeah, I can go ahead and read this. In fact, I think Crystal herself, whose favorite Cinderella fairy tale retelling this is, said that this was the first book from Bridgerton that she read. So that's good. I also have out, these do not fulfill the brief for time travel, which is the team I'm on, but they do fulfill the brief for fairy tale retelling. So I will get a certain number of points for that. And these are by Eloisa James. A Kiss at Midnight is another buddy read for the Discord community, which is a Cinderella retelling. And The Ugly Duchess, which I'm guessing is a ugly duckling, a lovely swan-like gown. And The Duke is Mine, which is Princess in the Pea. You can't tell on this cover, but the same image is back here, and it's a little clearer. She's on a stack of mattresses. However, I was just talking about this in the live stream, and one of the participants said that she'd heard some people who had concerns about the way autism is depicted in this book. So I am going to try to read it, but I'm glad I have that forewarning, so I know I'm forewarned and forearmed. And then her favorite, Crystal's favorite pirate book is actually Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin, which I have on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have anything to hold up and show. But it's there. I'm going to read it. And then her favorite time travel is like a reincarnation deal. It's called Remembrance by Jude Devereaux. Looking forward to that. I'll probably make this my first read for the Ever Afterathon, so I'll start it tomorrow morning. If I'm up at midnight tonight, I might start it then. Although maybe it would be more appropriate to start the Cinderella retelling. Okay, then I have a whole stack of contemporaries, like I said, that will get me extra points because of who wrote them or who they're about. So I have Timothy Janofsky is an LGBTQ author who is writing about LGBTQ characters in You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince, and The Merriest Misters. And these are both Christmas oriented, so I'm going to do a little bit of a Christmas in May situation. May I celebrate Christmas early? And we have Playing 30 by Shamiz Patel, who is a BIPOC author writing about a BIPOC character. So that's worth some points. And yeah, this is going to be fun. The Love Simulation by Etta Easton. BIPOC characters, BIPOC author. Rebecca J. Caffrey, Pole Position. LGBTQ plus characters, I'm not sure about the author. The Broposal by Sonora Reyes. By BIPOC and queer author, BIPOC and queer characters. So that's like 200 points, plus 50 points because it's contemporary romance, and the 362 points I get for the 362 pages. That racks up. And A Sure Thing by Joanna Lowell. Which is set in the 1880s, so it's an historical romance, so that's 300 points right there, plus one per page, and I think it's like 250 pages, 300 pages, something like that. And it takes place in Cornwall in the 1880s. Summer seaside scene, lovely. And this character is actually a trans dude, and he's an aspiring painter, and he was in a sisterhood of aspiring painters, but once he started living his truth as a dude, they kicked him out because he was no longer a sister. And one more we have, I'll Have What He's Having by Adib Khorram. And this is for adults, but he wrote the Darius the Great is Not Okay, and I'm not sure if that's middle grade or YA. It's kind of based on his own personal experiences as a boy whose family immigrated from Iran to the United States. So yeah, but this one, so we have queer BIPOC author writing about queer BIPOC character. So that's going to get me a lot of points. Plus, I'm going to enjoy it because I've been waiting forever for this to come in at the library. So I'm very excited to get to it. So that's my TBR. Let's see. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 plus 11. It's 26. I don't know that I'm going to get to all of them in the 25 days of the readathon because it goes from May 1st to May 25th. I'm not sure I'm going to get to 26 books in that time, although some of them are fairly short. And I actually do have some other books I'm going to have to read because the library is going to want them back. But I do have a fair amount of leisure time and I do read very quickly, so, you know, it could happen. Maybe. So anyway, that's this first introductory preparation video, and I think I'm going to do more updates as I read the books. I don't know if I'm going to do them as shorts or do a longer form wrap up at the end of each week, or I don't know how I'm going to do it. So if you have a preference, let me know in the comments, because, you know, that's I'd like to know what people would prefer to see, and see if I can accommodate people. I can do both too. The other thing is, for people who don't like shorts, they don't have to watch those. They can watch the longer form. And for people who don't have time to watch a longer form all in you know, more or less at once, then they can watch them as shorts. Maybe I'll do it that way. But I won't simultaneously record them and stitch them together later, post them as shorts and then put them together in a compilation. No, I'll probably actually record it twice. And so you might get different insights in each one. I could do it that way, or one way, or the other way. Let me know what you want. Appreciate it. So, yeah, and I not only appreciate people who can leave me comments telling me what format they'd prefer, I appreciate you even if you don't leave a comment. You can also like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you even if you don't. Because as I always say, I am not the boss of you. Keep in mind that as a bargain counter argument, I am also available on Instagram. And thank you so much for your attention, and have a good day or night.